Oh man, this is some serious stuff. We gotta talk about the Harley Quinn. Is it me? Or does it feel like Harley Quinn season 3 is getting a little too much? Yeah, Harley Quinn is a pretty baddie TV show of the DC lineup. Originally using on DC streaming service, but now moved on to HBO Max. Harley Quinn was pretty well done and really well played for like modern times. It wasn't much cringy. Had some Me Too and jokes of like modern stuff of culture and stuff. But Harley Quinn seemed to be focusing more on action, adult humor, and more or less about Harley Quinn leaving her relationship with Joker. Toxic relationship. With a help from her best friend Poison Ivy. That is more or less the wake up call for Harley Quinn. Now personally, Harley Quinn had tackled these ideas of what you call woke, but did it in a much funner way. It doesn't overtake its grounds or anything like that. However, I had a problem watching a lot of season 3. And the biggest problem had nothing to do with the relationship between Harley and Ivy, which was the best part of the season. The biggest problem I had with it was with the act of what it did to Bruce Wayne and it overuse of socialism. I have no problem whatsoever with it. It just seems that the show is focusing more on people like Dr. Psycho being like the main one to be pointing out along with Harley Quinn about the socialism, and then it's like, oh my god, he's a big weirdo, and it was like, there's a lot of like weird villains in the show that got away with all these stuff. The finale and all of that shows Bruce Wayne focusing, oh crap, it's just so much. To clarify, I feel like the newest season of Harley Quinn has seemed to fail to deliver on a lot of the action that the previous seasons had given us. And while the witty humor was, well, witty, this season feels a little too forced onto what they're trying to tell you. Messages that's not too bad on paper, but at a critical lens, could seem itself as a little too ham-fisted and kind of takes down the direction of what they want to give the season. I personally think, in my personal opinion. I also had a lot of big problems with the Bruce Wayne aspects. Focusing more on Bruce Wayne this season, more than Harley Quinn and Ivy and the crew. Season 2 tackled this the best it possibly could by ramping up the crazy insanity of Harley Quinn to 11. Focusing on Gotham completing the chaos and all the characters reacting to it in their own way. Season 2 was the best way they could have possibly handled it, but Season 3 seems to take that to a whole nother level by again just not being any fun. There's so much problems with this season that compared to other seasons, it's just a disappointment. I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's not really the messaging per se. It's just the execution of it, as is not really a good season. The best moments of it was also gone towards them focusing on King Shark and Clayface. But again, characters like them fell under the rug compared to the other characters that they was trying to focus on. This season was Bruce Wayne's season, and the way they handled the morality of good and evil, such as the finales. I'm not gonna give too much into it, but the finale episode it just really got me. Okay, I guess I will go a little bit into it. Spoiler. But at the end, Bruce Wayne get arrested for tax evasion. Even though he caused a big problem of zombies bringing back his zombie parents. The zombie parents thing was more or less his last ditch of breaking insanity. Despite the fact that Alfred is right there and Alfred could have easily saw Bruce Wayne and would never allow that to happen. They basically focuses on Lord on that. And of course he gets away with that in that regard, but get arrested for tax evasion. Because also in this season, Joker becomes the mayor because Joker is good now. The biggest problem I had with that was that Joker is a criminal who killed Jason Todd as they shown it in this season. But again, like him, most villains get away with things in the show. You can argue they break out of jail. But again, Joker is legit, talks about how he gonna do things for people and everybody's excited and forgot all the bad things he did. Again, I just had it really got under my skin that they didn't tackle much of that. Instead, they focuses on Bruce Wayne trauma Batman and basically talking about the Semitic distribution of wealth. Again, I have no problem with them titling that type of issues and hammering it in personally, but I just thought it was very nerve-wracking that they emphasized that in so much rather than focusing on action. Poison Ivy is said to be the villain, and she was planning of doing a villainous thing, but Bruce Wayne just completely sidestepped her. And she didn't even get a shot until at the very end, but then that problem went south. This whole season just seemed to me personally to be just boring. And it had nothing to do whatsoever with the other characters. They felt underdeveloped. And the season wittiness was not as interesting other than the Catwoman and the Bane call out thing about her being black at the awards show. I thought that was pretty funny because it worked so much with like the original first 2 seasons of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn tackles current year with the characters and it doesn't feel too forced, and if it is forced they do it in a funny way. But I just couldn't help looking at this season and thought, man, this season just isn't that good. But hey, I could be wrong with anybody's opinion, but to me, this season just feels the weakest.